We're so excited this week, you guys. She's an Olympic gold medalist, a Grand Slam champ. She's been a top doubles player in the world, and she's also a social media star. She's one of the hosts of the new tennis show, Tennis United. We're really excited to be joined by Bethanie Mattek-Sands.
Welcome to episode 2 of Tennis United. I am your host, Bethanie Mattek-Sands, and alongside of me, of course, socially at a distance, is Vasek Pospisil. Vasek, how's everything up in Whistler?
It's good. Well, I'm actually back in Vancouver, but
you're changing spots on me now. Damn.
We're glad you could join the show, guys. This is Tennis United. In episode 2, we'll continue with a lot of the same themes as the first episode. We've got challenges, social media content, and special guests as always.
Basically, we are getting an inside look at all the players on both tours. And
Bethanie Mattek-Sands, welcome to Tennis Tuesday. Who would have thought that the last time I saw you, you'd be clinching the Fed Cup playoff tie for the U.S. against Latvia? So much, or I guess so little, has happened since then. How have you dealt with the past couple of months?
Wow. We were also practicing making paper airplanes with Ali Risk too. So that was actually a great Fed Cup. I just did an Insta Live with Coco Gauff the other day, and we reminisced a little bit about that. It was a really cool moment. Honestly, I didn't even think it was going to come down to the finals since we were leading it. But what an amazing end to that. But I'm missing all my tour mates. I mean, as everyone knows, the tennis tour is canceled right for now. It's postponed at least through August, maybe even later than that. We're still kind of all in the same place, kind of waiting to see what we're doing. But in the interim, I've been pretty busy. I've been at home in Phoenix, Arizona. Obviously, I was in Indian Wells before that, and just drove home right after they canceled BNP Paribas, and have been kind of taking this time to reprioritize my life a little bit, not just kind of career-wise, since that's on hold. I'm actually still training. I have a garage gym set up, so I'm still staying in shape. But really, it's only to balance out how much I'm eating and how much wine I'm drinking. So that's my motivation right now. And I think as a tennis player, it's tough because we're so used to having these end goals. Like even when I was injured and I was out for months, I did know the timeline. Like I knew, hey, I'm going to be running in a few weeks, or I'm going to be playing points in a few weeks, and then I'm going to eventually get to my match play. And right now, all tennis players are kind of like, this is the most amount of time we've all ever had off, I think, unless some of us have either had some babies or had some really bad injuries. So, but it's, we're all kind of in the same boat right now. So I think we're all just keeping ourselves busy in a lot of different ways.
So, Beth, I don't think anyone has been quite as busy or busy like you the way that you have. We've been seeing the same backdrop at your house. Blair is very, very jealous of your tournament towel collection. Tell us a little bit about Tennis United. Has been awesome. You guys are 2 episodes in, you and Vasek bringing the tennis world together. That's been awesome. And maybe for us tennis hosts and for those watching at home, what are your live broadcasting tips from home?
Live broadcasting tip: have good lighting. I feel like that's key. So if you can get either the windows behind you, like, is kind of a no-no. So just like work on the lighting, and I think you'll be good to go. But I think everyone's pretty relaxed right now. I mean, we're all doing, like, whether you're ESPN or whether you're just a vlogger or blogger, we're all kind of doing media from the same place, from our houses. But I think it's offering a really good perspective because it's more personal to me. I mean, I don't know if that feels like that to you guys, but even some of the conversations that I've had with friends of mine, with players, it's been a little bit more intimate. And it's like, in all honesty, it's a side of my friends on tour that I already knew, but I don't think the fans always kind of see it that way. So, with my new show, with Tennis United with Vasek, the ATP, WTA came together, and I think we're the first, it's a first in sports where both the men's and the women's leagues are coming together. And I think now was the right time. I mean, obviously we have all our combined events that are amazing. We have our Grand Slams, our Indian Wells, Miami, everything like that. So we see the guys on the road a lot, but I think really coming together, especially in this moment. We're all spread out across the world. We're all in different time zones. We're sort of feeling all the effects of this quarantine, of this moment in different ways. I mean, some of the players are in really big cities, so they're, stuck in apartments. Others are a little bit more out in the country, so there's a little bit more out there. And one of the questions that Vasek and I have really been talking about, and one of the topics that has come up, is how is everyone dealing with this? Like, are they staying in shape? Are they learning a new skill? And for me, that was a big part of it. And I'll give a little credit to sort of the journey I was on when I had my injuries and I had some downtime and my career like came to a halt, before my first, for example, before my first knee surgery. And I really had to reevaluate like what my priorities were, what I was passionate about. I knew I wasn't retiring from tennis, which I think is kind of the thought of most of the players right now, is like, we're not done, but we're, what are we doing in the interim? And I think it's a great time for, personal reflection. And I think it's worth finding a balance between having fun and taking facts seriously, recognizing where you're at. And that's what Tennis United is doing. I mean, I'm talking to all these players, and again, I know almost all of them, and I'm really finding out new things about them, whether they're interested in cooking. And I really appreciate that a lot of them have been super honest too. If I've asked them, how are you staying positive? I've had a few players that have just said, I'm not. Like, I'll be honest, I'm struggling with some motivation right now. And I think that keeps it really real. I mean, it's like you have some of these amazing athletes at the top of their sport, and in this moment, they're like everyone else. Like, what, I got to reevaluate my goals. Like, what am I training for? Like, how do I organize my schedule now that I'm home all the time? Do I even like the people I'm spending time with, like in my house? Like, let's be real. There's a lot of questions that we're all kind of like, and a lot of emotions that we're all going through. And, Tennis United was just this idea to bring the tennis community together. And, we have so many outlying things, like there's different tournaments, different cities, different schedules, and it can feel a little bit like the tennis tours are scattered. And really, I want there to be this feeling of community, whether it's with the rec players, whether it's with professional players, whether it's with tournaments, whether it's with slams. Like, we're all in this together. And tennis is such a massive and global sport. It's a sport that you can play from when you're 4 years old till when you're 100. And it's just this lifestyle, this life sport. And I think this was, kind of the idea was to bring everyone together and keep up with what the pros are doing, keep up with what fans are doing. How are we having fun on TikTok? How are we staying motivated? Which, by the way, I have not released a TikTok video yet. I'm kind of intimidated by the Vikas and Svitolinas of the world, but oh shit, Jamie's on.
Bringing tennis together.
Wait, speaking of motivation, I don't know if you guys have been following along with Jamie's Insta workouts, but if you ever wanted to know how to get some like ripped up glutes and quads, follow along with leg workouts. Partners don't let partners skip leg day.
Of course, yeah,
okay.
Of course.
I love this. So Beth didn't know that we were bringing Jamie in, and I just felt like it was the perfect moment. You're talking about bringing tennis together. Jamie Murray and Bethanie Mattek-Sands together again. Jamie, you're even dressed for a workout too.
I know.
I got my Man United soccer jersey on. Yeah, it's a bit cold in London now for a workout. But I did my stuff this morning. Prepared to get up early, get it done, maybe post it on Instagram. I felt like I was working hard enough, and then kind of mess around the rest of the day.
Jamie, I'm actually really proud of you on like your stepping up your like Insta influencer profile. Like, I'm like, this is impressive. I'm proud.
I've had a good teacher.
That was
after all the videos that I made you do after all our matches and all those selfies finally sunk in?
The penny finally dropped. Yeah.
That was a question I actually had for you both. You've both done such a great job kind of in that department. And when you look at, for instance, Bob and Mike Bryan throughout their careers have done an amazing job of really marketing the game of doubles. A lot of people know that they're going to potentially see the best match of the day if they're going out to, say, court 17 at the US Open and watching a mixed doubles or a doubles match there. A lot of people don't know that. And you guys have done a really great job of kind of advertising that. Has that been a conscious thing, do you think? Knowing that, doubles really does, some people need a little encouragement.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I'll jump in first, but Jamie and I have talked about this a lot. I mean, for me, doubles is a completely different game. One, it's what everyone in rec leagues, in the USTA leagues, it's what they usually play. So I think, learning more about the strategy and the ins and outs, and even seeing it live, is really applicable for them. And I don't like to compare singles strategy to doubles strategy to mixed strategy, because I think they're all different. I think some players are amazing singles players, some players are amazing doubles players. There's a few players that are amazing mixed players. I think a big difference is that doubles, it comes down to a lot of chemistry. I mean, you're out there, you're making tennis a team sport. You're coming together, figuring out what your strengths are, how you're feeling that day, and playing against two other great people. And like, for example, in mixed doubles, it's got to be one of the only sports where there's no handicaps on guys or girls. Everyone's playing full on. I mean, I can't think of one match where a guy felt bad for me at net. Like, if I was the weaker link, like, they were picking on me.
A match where you felt bad for the guy either.
But exactly. I'm like, look, hey, they're like, they got a racket in their hand. Like, they got to be used to this.
Yeah, it's game on. Yeah.
But that's why. So Jamie and I have both, pushed for that. Obviously, Jamie can speak a little bit on that. But I think it's, for us, and for me, I've had some amazing doubles results over my career. And as much as I've liked singles, I love doubles. I think it's brought my personality out. I think I like having someone out there that I can talk to. And I mean, if you listened in on Jamie and I's conversation, or even with my women's doubles players with Kenan or with Lucy, we're talking a little bit of strategy and a lot of bullshit after that. And like, we're having fun, but we're both competing, and we're out there to win. And I think I think more people would love to watch it and to play it if they knew. So that's kind of the goal behind us being pretty outgoing on all our social media platforms.
I think that was like perfect answer. I think that there's not much more for me to add. I think that like what Beth said about the mixed in particular is, obviously it really is the only sport that I kind of can think of where men and women are there on the court competing equally. I think also is what you said, like, it's the bedrock of amateur tennis is doubles, whether that's doubles or mixed doubles. That's what people play. They can relate to it, I think, better than, if they go onto Arthur Ashe Stadium and they're watching, Djokovic against Rafa. It's incredible tennis, but it's not real life really for the majority of people. And I think people enjoy it. I think certainly since the difference since I started playing on the tour in 2007 to where the doubles game is now, like, it's changed so much. The profile of it's increased exponentially. I think especially in certain target markets around the world, it's so well supported, and it's on TV or streaming a lot more than it used to. And I think that's helped get the guys and girls' names out there, get doubles in people's heads a bit more. And when they go to the tournaments now, like, the matches are all really well attended, very well supported, and people have a vested interest in the matches they're going to watch.
So Jamie, we were checking in a little bit with Beth before we brought you in. So we want to check in with you. We know that you've obviously been quite busy. I've done a few of your workouts. They're really damn hard. So thank you for that. What have you been up to, Jamie? And also, just reading today about perhaps maybe it's in its early stages, some sort of domestic event in the UK. What do you know about that?
Yeah, so been trying to put together an event for a little while. It's obviously difficult just now with the restrictions in place in terms of like getting a fixed date, because in the future or the short-term future, we don't really know quite what's going to happen. Ideally, we'd like to do the event during the Wimbledon fortnight, especially so like the British fans kind of have tennis to watch. But obviously, things are kind of changing all the time. We're in another 3-week lockdown now, and I mean also like the players, they'll need time to kind of train and get back out on court, because here, like, we can't do anything. I mean, unless you have a tennis court in your house, you can't play tennis. So
the guys obviously need a bit of time to kind of get ready, but there will be that period of time where the restrictions ease, and then there's a return to professional tennis. It's not going to be like the next day. So, everyone will want to train hard. Everyone will want to compete if they can, and hopefully this event can kind of can cater for a few of our kind of elite players.
Jamie, thanks for that. Yeah, we were all, Nick sent me the tweet, and we were all very curious about what that may or may not entail, but we want to have a little fun with you guys too. We have some questions that I've laid out, and I'm going to go from one to the other, and I need you guys to tell me who this most applies to. So we'll start off with Bethanie. Who is more calm before a match?
Jamie.
Very chill. Jamie, do you agree?
Yeah, but I need her fire, that's for sure. So it's a good match. It's a good balance.
Nice.
This could be an easy one, but Jamie, who's the chattier player on court?
That's Beth. Yeah, I'm giving her that one.
I don't know. I bring out your chattiness though too.
That's true,
I don't have a lot of monologues out there, so you're keeping up with me at least.
Especially when we win at US Open and I'm celebrating by myself and I'm having to explain to you that we've actually won the tournament.
I still watch replays of that, and I'm like,
I know, I saw it the other day.
I really did not know it was match point. And I'm like, I just remember looking up at you and saying, like, damn, Jamie's really celebrating hard on that. I mean, I'm pumped we broke, but like, okay, like I didn't know. That's not like him.
I'll roll with this, yeah.
Amazing. Well, that was actually one of the questions. Okay, Beth, who celebrates harder after you know you've won? So you've done the press conferences, you've done everything you need to do on site. Who celebrates harder from there?
I'm going to probably say me, because the last couple times, like, Jamie's had like one glass of champagne. He's like, I got to fly. Like, I got to leave. And I'm like, what? I don't know what he does. Like, maybe he like parties up on the plane. I never got any video of this, but I'm going to give myself that title.
Yeah, I'm giving you that one. The last couple of times we won was a bit rubbish for me. I was flying home that same night. So I was celebrating on the plane, and last time they had the big shutdown, so I was lucky to get a flight back. So we had to fly through Ireland to get home. So there was a big strike, so there's no flights going back to UK. So we just took what we could get, and off we went. Yeah. Took all my bags to the courts. Took all my bags to the courts. Went on, played the match, and then went to the airport, and off we went.
Wow.
Damn.
That's not really how you should be doing it, though.
I did not get any sleep that night, so I'll just put that out there. So.
All right. Under the breath counts here. Mutterings count. Jamie, who curses more on court?
I don't know, really. I wouldn't say we're really dropping F-bombs and stuff.
I kind of do. I think Jamie's being nice right here, but I tend to drop. I'm the one who's dropping a few more F-bombs. Like when Jamie
it's never got to the point where I've thought, yeah, can't.
I've never made it uncomfortable.
The air's turning blue.
Like, what's wrong with Bethanie? But no, we normally are actually kind of making each other laugh out there, I would say. Like nobody's like, if we are kind of going that route, it's like in a funny way versus being like super pissed.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Who looks at their respective box more often? Beth, this is for you.
I honestly think Jamie does, because actually I don't look at my box a lot, but I don't know. I don't notice how much Jamie's looking up there either. I think we both don't. As far as most of the players I know, I think we're on the lower end of that. I don't think we look a lot. I don't know. Do you, Jamie? Maybe I'm just not really like super selfish and not noticing.
Yeah, I don't. Like, I definitely don't feel you looking up at the box for support or help or because you're worried or anything like that. I would say I tend to look more if like I start to get a bit stressed, like I don't know, with my serve or maybe my return I'm struggling with, whatever, and it's like, they can help me out, you know. Is
that maybe a little genetic, Jamie? Is that a little bit genetic?
Perhaps, yeah. But that's it. I don't find when I'm playing matches too often I'm like really aware that I'm looking up to my box too much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys have been fantastic. Blair, should we close them out with our Your Serve question for the week?
Ooh, yes, I would love that. So we ask a new question every week to fans, and we got some really cool responses to this one. We asked people what their tennis treasure was, or treasures. So it could be a trophy, a souvenir, a picture with their favorite player, whatever that may be. If you had something that were to come to your mind on this topic, what would you say your tennis treasure is?
I mean, I collect all my badges from the tournaments, which I have done for about 5 years. I just got into the habit, and now I keep doing it. And my wife Ali, she always wants me to keep them. But I wouldn't, like, if the house got burned down, I wouldn't be disappointed that I lost them. But
You would run and save the badges?
yeah.
Save the badges. That
Yeah.
must be a huge collection.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing, like, let's say 30 tournaments a year, so there's a ton of stuff in there. But all, like, the Grand Slam towels as well. I mean, I think all players keep them. That's pretty cool.
Did you see my last post where I was
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Brilliant.
So in my reorganization of the house, like, I'm going through all the slam towels and actually WTA towels that I've collected over the course of my career. So I've saved only a couple things from tournament to tournament, and actually one of them, badges are a big one for me. At some point, I kind of want to put a full-on collage, but I have badges from when I was playing in juniors, which I know was only like 6.5 years ago, but like I saved them all. And like the tournament towels, I swear, I almost didn't post that video because I'm like, shit, like the tournaments are gonna be like, yeah, Bethanie, don't let her take one more towel from us. Like, we saw that collection.
Wimbledon, that was like that at Wimbledon. Like, the towels were so precious. Like, so if you got a rain delay, you would take the towel off with you, because then when you come back onto court, you'd get another towel.
Wait, don't give away the secret. They're gonna start like swiping at.
No, but then there was a time where the ball kids were telling you that you weren't supposed to do it. But I think they were just doing it so that they could keep the towels for themselves.
But yes, so I feel like those are two things that I've saved over the years, and I'm generally not a person that saves a lot of things, but badges and towels. And then obviously I have my trophies set out, but to me, I think it was, when I look at the trophies, it's more about the experiences that I had while winning them. And even, I mean, and Jamie can talk about this too, it's sometimes like that moment where you do hold the trophy, as special as it is, like even in New York, like I was sad the tournament was over. Like, I had fun through the whole thing with my squad, with our practices. Each match had a different momentum to it. And so for me, as big of a deal as maybe the trophies are in my living room, to me, it's the memories attached to them. So I'll throw all those three in the mix to that question.
Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much. We took up too much of your time, but Bethanie, thanks for all the
time. We've got time, that's for sure.
I'm on another interview right now, so I gotta interview another player. So.
And Jamie,
second workout of the day in.
Yeah. Exactly. Jamie, you gotta keep us in shape. You guys, thanks so much.
No,
bye, guys.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers, guys. Viva. Bye.
Bye.